On our last episode, we took you on a behind-the-scenes visit to the Pinehurst Concours d'Elegance, or competition of elegance. As a bonus, we were treated to another kind of elegance, or in this case, excellence at Pinehurst. Excellence that was bred through nearly 70 years of competition under one of the most iconic names in automotive history, Porsche. Now, on 0 to 60 TV, we drive the all-new 2017 Panamera Turbo. Porsche was a major sponsor of the Concours, which allowed us an opportunity to get behind the wheel of the new Panamera Turbo with a Porsche Cars North American rep who was there to make sure we took full advantage of the car's abilities. All right, so the good folks from Porsche out of
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama. Keith, I'm Mark. Good to meet you, Keith. So, Keith, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. Yeah, so PDK, so what does that mean?
It's German for Porsche Double Clutch.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, what it means is it's unique to Porsches.
Yeah, visibility with these mirrors is great.
Yeah, that carries over to all Porsche models where they have extra large mirrors on the side there, just like on a race car, because you can't shoulder check in a race car.
Mm-hmm.
So just to carry over that. It's also the reason there's a tachometer right in front of you as opposed to a speedometer, just like on a race car.
And you got your, I guess, racing hand positions.
Yeah, 3 and 9. That's where the shifter paddles are.
Yeah.
And that's where the controls of the steering wheel are. You're right. Just like on a race car, you keep your hands at 3 and 9. And the thinking behind that is as you go through a corner, you're trying to turn that steering wheel as little as possible. Because in any vehicle, the more you turn a steering wheel, the less grip you get on the front tires. So by keeping your hands at 3 and 9, you'll turn the steering wheel very little through the corners and get the most grip out of your front tires. So accelerate hard. It's all-wheel drive. Look really far ahead. Remember to breathe. Keep your hands at 3 and 9 on the steering wheel.
See, I wonder why you were telling me that earlier.
Well, when you have a car with 550 horsepower, you get places really quick.
Yes,
and on the flip side, Porsche is famous in the industry for putting on really big brake pads and rotors on their cars, because it doesn't make a lot of sense if you can accelerate but can't stop.
Yeah.
So the braking on Porsches is phenomenal in the industry. It surprised a lot of people that more than 50% of all Porsches sold in the world are the 4-doors. The Panamera, the Macan, and the Cayenne.
Oh, hold up. 50%?
More than 50% of all Porsches sold in the world are 4-doors. Thanks, gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed the Panamera.
Sure did. Thank you for taking the extra time, Keith.
You're welcome.
Back at the auto park in Cary, Steve Hewlin sat down with Porsche enthusiast to the core, John Alvey. He also happens to be sales manager at Leith Porsche.
Leith Porsche is a very, very special Porsche dealership. They say for more knowledgeable Porsche people, you'd have to jump on an airplane and fly to Germany. And one reason for that is John Alvey here, who's a long-time Porsche expert and an aficionado. Hugely knowledgeable about the brand and especially the new Panamera. John, would you share with us some of your impressions about the second generation Panamera and tell us what your favorite innovations are?
With the second generation Panamera, obviously there was the first generation. It was from scratch, the design, the technology. So Porsche did get it right. They did a great job with the first one,
Yep.
but there was a couple things that it was just missing, that it just needed. Porsche listened to all their clients, and everything that was needed is now in this car. There's so many options to list, just different things that they tweaked, a lot of extra technology that everyone was asking for. I think one of the most overlooked options that's kind of a must-have as people are speccing out these vehicles is the 4-zone temperature control. In the previous generation, it gave you 4 zones of temperature control, and that's about it.
Right.
Now, to get the 4-zone, you actually get a colored screen in the rear seats.
Yes.
That is not only to control the temperature, but it's also going to show your navigation, the radio, and vehicle diagnostics right there in the rear seat for the passengers.
It's a wonderful looking motor car, and the improvements in design are so evident. But could you just tell us one thing about the engine? Something we can't see right away, but it's the way the turbos have been placed. The engines are entirely new. Is that correct?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
With it's all about efficiency these days.
Yes.
Efficiency, but everyone wants more power as well. That's why Porsche, You know, they started with turbocharging cars back in the 70s. They were in the forefront. They finally took a lot of that turbo technology in the sports car and put it in this car.
Right.
Just the way the turbos function, so they are efficient. You don't have any of the lag what a lot of people know with turbos. Torque comes on immediately, pulls all the way to red line. You get that power, but then again, when you're cruising the highway, you're running on a 4-cylinder engine.
Yeah, yeah. Talking about cruising the highway, John, just tell us a little bit about the wheels and the new tires and this experience you have of sound deadening.
And that's the thing with Porsche, you know, they want to be a sports car, but at the same time, this is a luxury saloon.
Yes.
With that, Porsche basically they went through every different angle of how to make this a performance vehicle, but also be comfortable as well too and luxurious. Even down the tires. The tires are a brand new design. There's actually noise deadening in the actual tires itself, so you don't get that road noise coming into the cabin.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So they thought about everything.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thanks, John. Thanks
Absolutely.
very much. I suppose there'd be a lot of people who have a car like this who would forget about going to RDU and buying plane tickets and going through all of the security and controls and time-consuming hours it takes to fly when you could just get in this motor car and go to Chicago that way, or you know, even go down to the Florida coast, Vero Beach, Sarasota, those places. And to have a car like this down there would be marvelous. A bit better than flying, than having to rent an everyday car. I could see that trips of 2 and 3 days across the country would just be so satisfying, so wonderful to experience.
Steve, did you enjoy your time with the Panamera?
I did, Mark. It's very special. As a matter of fact, it makes anything else you drive feel like you're behind the wheel of a mail truck. It's that good.
Yeah, yes it is.
It has poise, it has alacrity, luxury. Let me turn the tables on you. How did you go with the turbo?
The turbo was like 10 times the experience of what you had in this Panamera here at Leith Porsche. I mean, my gosh, I couldn't believe the power in it. And when the Porsche guy said, "Don't forget to breathe," what are you talking about? No, he was right.
He was right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Steve, thanks for coming along to Pinehurst and
Thank
here
you
at
for having me.
Leith
Yes, of
Porsche
course.
with us.
Yep.
And thanks to John Alvey and the staff at Leith Porsche for providing the Panamera for us to check out today, as well as the Porsche crew from Atlanta for the ride and drive, and all the folks at Pinehurst at the Concours for helping to make this episode of 0 to 60 TV possible. And most importantly, thank you for watching. Like what you saw? Stay tuned for what's coming up on the next 0 to 60.